The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Okay, everyone. Happy Wednesday. How everybody's doing? Good. Hope you're doing well. This is Neil Green again with you on the weekly webinar. This time talking about central banks, and I'm going to give you some updates on what's going on during the earnings season. We talked about it in in past two webinars. Just want to do a technical check at the beginning. You guys on GoToWebinar, can you please write me down on the chat window that you can hear me and see the screen just before I start? And I would like to welcome you guys on the Facebook Live page. All right, just 1 second. Okay. Okay, you guys on GoToWebinar, can you hear my voice, see the screen? Anyone has any technical problem before we start? All right. So guys, okay. So yeah, I thought we had some technical problem. I was just checking it out. So everybody can hear my voice and see the screen? That's great. Anyone has any technical problem to see the screen? You're supposed to see our homepage, at itrader.com, and hopefully hear my voice. I'm going to talk about two major things, all right, today. One of them is the topic of the webinar, which is the central banks. We have two major events that are going to take place tomorrow. And the other one, guys, is I'm going to give you an update on the earnings season, since as you probably know, it already started. Okay. Okay, so we good. Okay. Let's start. All right, welcome everyone. Let me start from the beginning. You guys on GoToWebinar, and I would like to welcome, we had a technical problem from Facebook. I would like to welcome you guys on Facebook Live for joining us today for the weekly webinar. This time we're going to talk about two major topics, as I said. One is what we published about the central banks. We have two major events tomorrow. I want to show you how to trade these events. And the other one is the earnings season. As you probably know, we're right now during the earnings season. The last two webinars we talked about the earnings season. We talked about the bank stocks. We talked about technology stocks. Actually, I want to start with this because a lot of interesting things are taking place right now in the market. Before we start, I would like to share with you, this is our homepage at itrader.com. Our customers, I would like you, if you can, just contact after the webinar your account managers, because we're giving away tickets for the Manchester City. As you probably know, we work with cooperation with Manchester City football tickets. So if you want to go to the VIP free tickets for Manchester City, actually the next game will take place tomorrow. It's a derby versus Manchester United. So you're more than welcome to join, watch the game, and upload some videos. We want to see you in the game and enjoy it. 4 more games to go, and you're more than welcome. So this is a present from us to you as our customers. Okay, you guys on Facebook, next time if you want to join our free webinars every Wednesday at 2 p.m. GMT time, you can do it. The website, you just have to click on Save Me a Seat and join our webinar. Click on the webinar that you want to join, and you can do it through through the website right now. I mean, you can do it right now as well. If you're still on Facebook and you want to hear us out from Facebook and you want to comment, you can write a comment. All right, and I would like it to be more interactive. I want to hear what you have to say. I want to hear your questions. Okay, I want to try to reply to everyone. I would like to thank you for the emails that you send me during the week on the topics that we're talking about. And actually next month we have some great events that we're going to talk about. A lot of major things are going to take place, but let's talk about what's going on right now in the market. Let's get an update. Let's open the MetaTrader. Let's get an update of the market. Let's take a look at the main indices in the United States right now. The market is open for about half an hour. Look at the Dow Jones. This is a monthly chart. Let me show you a daily chart, which means each candle is 1 day. Look at the past 3 days. Okay, Dow Jones at the highest point ever, or since the beginning of the year. What was it? Since March. Okay. The stock market is going up. Actually, today Donald Trump is going to talk about his tax policy. Okay, we've been waiting for this for a long time. Let's see what he has to say, and let's see how the market reacts to that. Okay, so this is the Dow Jones. Let's take a look on a few stocks. Actually, let me show you something. Everybody knows Netflix, right? We talked about it on past webinar. Netflix actually had an agreement. They signed an agreement with a Chinese company that they're going to be the next company, right, or the first company that are going to do live streaming in China, right? Now, this is a major thing. Think about it. Most of the biggest population of the world lives in China, and since Netflix are going to go in China because of this agreement, take a look at Netflix. Where's Netflix? This is a daily chart. Look at this. Traded at $150 per share. Went up like crazy in the past 2 days, not because of the report, but because of this agreement. Every stock, actually, if you look at Tesla, look at this. The market is going up right now. So whatever you buy, if you bought it in the past few days, you're making money. McDonald's had a great report. Great earnings. Look at this. Traded at I just called a friend today and I said, look at McDonald's. It's traded around $141 per share. He said, maybe 114. You're wrong. I said, no, 141. So it goes up. Okay. It's crazy what's going on in the market right now. Okay. Let me show you. We talked about Netflix and whatever you want to trade on, all right? Facebook, for example. Look at Caterpillar. They had a great report. Great report. I think the EPS was double than what it was expected. Right now, traded at $105 per share 2 days ago. Okay, it was 96. Okay, just for you to understand. If I work with a leverage, with a silver account at itrader.com, and I work with a leverage of, let's say, 1 to 20 on stocks, okay, just to give you, I want to give you an indication about how much money you could make. Okay, just here's the calculator, all right? Let's say I bought Caterpillar 2 days ago or 3 days ago when it was $94 per share. So if I had $10,000, okay, multiply by 20, which this is the leverage. Okay, if you use the leverage, you can make huge profits. Okay, so we're talking about, and divided by $94 per share, where it was here 4 days ago. I could buy 2,127 shares. Okay, price went up from 94. Right now it's 105. We're talking about $11 per share. So I could make in 4 days $23,000. So we're talking about okay, so more than 200% out of my portfolio using only this. Usually, okay, I don't recommend to invest only on one asset, but as we said before, split the risk by diversify your portfolio. If you want to trade on stocks during the earnings season, which right now all the stocks are going up, you can, choose a few stocks during the report, the earnings season, and go with this. I just wanted to show you what the market is doing these days, and great opportunities just for you to know. And Twitter. Take a look at Twitter. Had a great report. On the report, they had 15 million new subscribers for Twitter, okay, which was a big surprise after a long time that the stock went down. Okay, it went up by like 12%. So That's a lot of money here, guys. Okay? Look at this gap up. The market opened, the pre-market was so high, right now traded around $16.2 per share, and the market is open, so you can trade right now as well. All right, we good? Okay, just wanted to give you an update on the earnings season. We talked about it in the past two webinars, and let's start with our topic today, which is central banks. So central bank trading, okay? Central banks around the world are responsible for stabilizing economies, all right? If economy is going too far any direction, the job of the central bank is to stabilize the market. They do that by controlling the interest rates and money supply, okay? Think about it. If we want the currency to be stronger, what do we need? We need to print less money, and then it's worth more. And the opposite. Now, if interest rate goes up, usually it's good for the currency, but bad for the stock market, and the opposite. Why is that? Think about it. If I have $100,000 and I want to know where to invest it, if the central bank of my country, okay, or whatever country, you know, it's a global world, you can trade anywhere, raises interest rate, okay, it will be more, I would take my money and put it in the bank because I'm going to get more value for my money, okay, I'm going to get more profit on non-risk. And then I want to sell my stocks and put the money in the bank because the interest rate is higher. On the other hand, if interest rate goes down, okay, then the currency is getting weaker because people would prefer, and US bank stocks as well, would prefer to take the money off the bank and use it and buy stocks, and then the stock market is going up. So just for you to know, in general, we have an opposite correlation between the stock market and the currencies, okay? This is important. Major global central banks include Bank of Japan. We're going to talk about it in just a few minutes. BOJ stands for Bank of Japan. European Central Bank, which is the ECB, and the Fed. Everybody knows the Federal Reserve, and of course many more central banks around the world. Since the financial crisis of 2008, I think a few months ago we had a webinar talking about the financial crisis. You can watch the movie The Big Short. Okay, is a great movie. So since the financial crisis of 2008, central banks have a growing impact on financial markets. Market reaction to central banks' decisions are considered highly volatile, okay? When we hear as traders highly volatile, okay, for me as a trader, it means huge opportunities, okay? Because if a central bank decides to increase, okay, or reduce, if it increases to raise or lower the interest rate, it means for me opportunities, okay? Because we have movement. If we have movement and we know how to recognize the movement in the market, and we know how to analyze it fundamentally and technically. Actually, next month we have one webinar on technical analysis. We had great responses for that last month when I had one. So I decided to make another general webinar on how to technically analyze the market. Market reaction to central bank decisions are considered highly volatile. Every central bank has a different agenda, ability, and power. As you probably know, the Fed, the Federal Reserve, is considered the most powerful central bank since the US economy is the strongest economy in the world and actually affects on all other economies. Two interesting publications will take place tomorrow. So we have two major events tomorrow that could be great opportunities for you. The first one is the Bank of Japan will publish its economic statement and interest rate, all right? You can find it on investing.com or Forex Factory. I put a Forex Factory here, I think. Let me check it if I open it. There you go. This is on GMT time since, you know, we don't want to confuse it. So GMT time at 6:30 a.m. in the morning. JPY, you see in Japan. Bank of Japan press conference will be after the policy rate, okay? Right now, the interest rate in Japan is minus 0.1%. Why is it minus? Because the Japanese, they recognize that there's not a lot of stability right now in the world. And what they want to do is, think about it, if interest rate is negative, for me, if I was a Japanese citizen, I wouldn't want to put my money in the bank because then I have to pay for that. Not only that I'm not getting profit and revenue, money for my money, but I'm paying to hold my money in the bank. right? So they want people to take the money off the banks and go and be independent, open businesses, and by that to kick economy forward, okay? Take it forward by people using their money to buy stocks, to open businesses, to use it to be independent and think economically about themselves rather than putting it in the bank. Makes sense, right? So right now it's negative, supposed to stay the same. And how do we trade this? So back to the PowerPoint. The Bank of Japan will publish its economic statement and interest rate. We said it tomorrow. No change expected in interest rate. Okay, the forecast is to stay at minus 0.1%. A positive economic outlook could support the Japanese yen and vice versa. Okay, so we want to wait for the statement after the interest rate decision that will probably, of course, if it's going to be higher or lower, it's going to affect the Japanese yen and the Nikkei, which represents the 225 stocks with the highest value in Japan, with an opposite correlation with the Japanese yen. Okay, so a positive economic outlook could support the Japanese yen. Traders are recommended to generate key levels, of course, technically I'm going to show you right now, on the Japanese yen and the Nikkei. Okay, let's talk about Japan for a minute. Let's open the MetaTrader and I want to show you what happens in Japan right now. So let's take a look on the US dollar versus the Japanese yen on a daily chart. This is the US dollar versus the Japanese yen. As you can see, in the last few days, the Japanese yen is crashing down. Anyone want to guess why? Any guesses? Why the Japanese, the Japanese yen in the past few days, yes, as you can see right now, in the last, 3-4 days, is going down. You see the US dollar is getting stronger versus the Japanese yen, which the Japanese yen is going down. If you want to see it very clearly, you can see it here. Look at the euro versus the Japanese yen. Look at this, okay? Japanese yen is going down and the euro is getting stronger. Any ideas why? You guys on Facebook, you can comment. You guys on GoToWebinar, you can write on the chat window and try to guess how come the euro is getting so stronger and the Japanese yen is getting so weaker in the past 3 days. So, any guesses? The French elect. Ooh, okay, Bernard, we have an expert here, right? The French election. That's true. Okay, the thing is, we had elections in France, and we have two candidates that they moved on to the next step. Actually, the elections to the presidency is going to take place on May 7th, and right now we have Macron and Le Pen from the right wing. Le Pen is from the right wing, Macron is from the left, Emmanuel Macron, and they both right now are nominated to be one of them is going to be the next president of France. Now, what happened is because of that, okay, because of this fact, the euro got stronger, okay, and the Japanese yen, some like gold, is some kind of a safe haven, which means when investors don't know what currency to buy, I'm talking about the major currencies, the US dollar, the euro, usually they go either to gold or to the Japanese yen. The Japanese yen usually is not such a noisy currency, okay? And because of the fact that the Japan economic is so stable, interest rate stays the same, everything is the same in Japan right now. They don't move, the Central Bank of Japan is not making a lot of big moves. So the Japanese yen is kind of a quiet currency, and people go and invest in the Japanese yen when they sell euros or dollars. So you can see the euro got stronger versus the Japanese yen right now, and you can use it for, of course, on May 7th, if Macron, what do you think will happen if Emmanuel Macron is going to be elected? What the polls show is going to be the next president of France. What will happen to the euro? Will it get stronger or weaker? What do you think? Any guesses? Of course, yes. It's supposed to get stronger because, if Le Pen will be elected, she might wanna do a French exit to get out of the European Union, just like we saw with the UK with the Brexit. So if they're gonna be not part of the European Union, it's not gonna be good for the euro, just like what we saw with the British pound on June 24th when it went down. Okay, we talked about it on last webinar. Okay, So great, so stronger. Okay, back to the PowerPoint. Let's keep talking. These are great opportunities to trade, guys. Okay, a positive economic outlook could support the Japanese yen, of course, vice versa, and traders recommended to generate key levels for the Japanese yen and the Nikkei. Let me show you how you do that. Okay, on the technical side, what you have to do, if I want to trade on the Japanese yen, for example, daily, let's say I want to take a daily chart. Let's open the chart. There you go, versus the euro. You can see a strong resistance line here at around 123 Japanese yen per euro, and the support is down here at around 115. Okay, so pay attention. If interest rate stays the same in the morning in Japan, pay attention to the statement itself and see where the Japanese yen is going. Might be a great opportunity for you guys. And of course during the elections. The other thing is you can take a look at the Japanese index of the 225 stocks with the highest value in Japan, which is the Nikkei. Let me show you here in the MetaTrader. You see indices, you see an NK on a daily chart. So of course it will go the opposite direction with the currency. So you can see every time before you trade on the technical side, I would recommend to put some support and resistance levels to understand how high or how low might the price of the asset might go. So on the Nikkei, we have a strong resistance line on the highest point ever at around 19,000. What is it? 19,600, and a support on 18,300 points for contract. Okay, you see that? Great. We good with Japan? Can we go on? Okay, so this is, as I said, we have two events taking place tomorrow that has to do with central banks. The first one is in Japan. The second will take place in Europe. The ECB stands for European Central Bank. Okay, the ECB will also publish its economic outlook and hold a press conference. Okay, where do you find it? Again, on any financial website. You can go here, like I went to Forex Factory, and go to okay, at 12:30 p.m. GMT time, which is going to be 1:30 UK time or 2:30 wherever you're in Europe. Check what time it is in your country. Okay, so we have, as you can see, we have the ECB press conference. Okay, that is going to take place tomorrow, and it's going to be a major event. Okay, we want to hear what Mario Draghi, the head of the president of the ECB, has to say. What will happen during, with the consequences of the elections in France, of the Brexit, we have elections in the UK on June 8th. We talked about it on past webinar. So we have to see what he has to say, and you can take a look at the reaction of the market, okay, and trade with the trend, because the trend is your friend, as you probably remember. Okay, no change expected. Its interest rate is supposed to stay the same, but there could be new information on the next rate decision. Okay, he's going to talk about the next rate decision. Of course, statements that are supportive for a hike in interest rate in Europe will be supportive for the euro as well, usually, and the opposite. If he's going to say things that are negative for the euro, we expect the euro to go down. Traders are recommended to generate key levels for the euro and all indices like DAX, the German index, or the CAC, the French, and so on. Okay, let's see actually what happens in the French stock market right now. Let's get a France CAC. Can you see it? DAX. I think it's interesting. Let's do show all. There you go. Okay. Oh, after the elections, look at this. When we had when Macron and Le Pen went to the next stage, okay, he went up. Actually, I don't know if it's ever been so high. Once here. Okay, so very interesting. Okay, of course, stock market always with an opposite correlation with the currency. Okay, I looked at it for the first time. Very interesting. But actually, the stock market in the whole world right now is going up, especially in the US because of the earnings season. Great opportunities to trade. Okay, now the impacts of the European Central Bank publication could be short-lived. Traders are recommended to take into consideration the French elections, as we said on May 7th. The euro is a short-term uptrend following the first round of the elections. I just showed you. If you want me to show you again, let me show you. You want to see it versus what? The US dollar, for example. Let's take a look. Euro dollar, okay? The most common one. The euro getting stronger since the elections, okay? Versus the Japanese yen, I just showed you, okay? Even more stronger because of the Japanese yen is a safe haven for US dollar and the euro, okay? Great. So this is what happens in the market right now. The euro short-term uptrend following the first, we said it. Market sentiment seems to be positive. High volatility expected during the press conference of the ECB President Mario Draghi. Mario Draghi, great Italian economic guy. He used to be a banker. Right now he's president of the European Central Bank. I want you to pay attention. You can watch it on any news, I don't know, CNN, CNBC, Bloomberg, whatever you like. Watch the speech. See what he says. Is he supportive for he's going to give some supportive statements about the French elections, about right now Macron on polls has a big advantage over Le Pen. So pay attention to this and take advantage of these statements in order to trade. It's going to be high volatility in the market, a lot of money coming in. The euro might go up or down, depends on what Mario Draghi is going to say. His last speech before the interest rate and his last speech before the elections in French, very interesting. So we have two major, and of course good luck. So we have two major events taking place tomorrow. The first one will be the Japanese Central Bank, okay, interest rate and statement, and the other one will take place at noon, even a bit afternoon, with the European Central Bank, okay, with Mario Draghi, his speech, and so on. The market is going to react. I want you to understand the correlation. I would like you to make a setup of the chart before you trade. Put some support and resistance levels to understand, okay, this put some key levels to understand how high or how low the currencies and the indices might get, and take advantage of these days. Of course, you can still trade on the stocks. We're still during the earnings season in the United States. Take advantage of this. The market right now is booming up, and we have great reports. We have to pay attention to what Trump is going to say about his tax policies. A lot of things going on. Great time to trade in the market. Take advantage of this, okay? Any questions? Time for questions. You guys on Facebook, you can write it as a comment. I'll try to answer you. You guys on GoToWebinar, you have the chat window, as you probably already know. I'm more than pleased that most of you are coming here every week and they're listening to what I have to say. My wife is not doing it, so sticky dish, yes. All right. Any question, guys? We good? Was it all clear? This is the time to ask questions. But by the way, you have my email address. If you want during the week, you can write me down and I'll try to answer your questions in between. Okay? And except for this, I think we're good. Are we good? Any questions? Anything you would like me to clarify, you would like me to repeat? This is the time. I'm here with you guys. All right. So I'm more than pleased that it was clear. Hopefully you're going to take some good trades. As I said at the beginning of the webinar, let me repeat it again. Contact your account managers. Take the tickets for the VIP. Okay, VIP gate at the Manchester City home stadium and go watch a football game. Okay, it's for free. We give it for free. Only 4 games till the end of the season. Home game for Manchester City. Next one will take place tomorrow versus Manchester United. If you like football, enjoy it. Okay, it's a present from us as you for you as our customers. I would like to thank you very much for participating. Take some good trades. Take advantage of the central bank statements, interest rate decisions, and this earnings season. Thank you, and have a great one. Bye bye.